It's a mindset.
You got to know your type of athletes.
Agree.
The harvest is plentiful. The workers are few.
A contender, but I think it really, really gives you an upside.
You call me an OG.
The game is not over.
Right. So every day it's important that we are intentional about making a positive difference because it changes the world in a better way.
Once the expectation becomes the demand, you're golden.
Listen, back in April, the Washington Mystics were the youngest team in the league with a fired GM. Last night, they were down 9 in the third, I think. Outscored the Sparks 25-12 in the fourth to get to 20 wins for the first time since 2023. Listen, nobody picked them. You didn't pick them. I didn't pick them.
I didn't.
The people who do this for a living didn't pick them. So welcome to the Coaches Co-op. I'm Coach P. As always, I am here with the fabulous WNBA Tay, and this is season 2, episode 8. What do we have today? So we got tea time. A playoff picture is locking in. Washington watch, Shakira Austin's case as perhaps the most underrated, maybe disrespected defender in the league. We do our standings update. We both lost ground, which is so whack. We're gonna give our WNBA depth chart, our all WNBA depth chart. I'm telling you right now that one of our boards is not gonna survive, okay? Because our depth charts are a little different. We're gonna talk about Mean Girls. We're going to talk about Mean Girls in this episode. We're going to talk about Most Improved. We're going to give you our Most Improved candidates. New awards this year. New awards. Our awards are called the Almost But Not Quites. So we're going to give you our players who are almost there. They're almost to superlatives, but not quite. So they're putting up great years, but these great years probably won't get them a trophy. Team USA going to Berlin, and why perhaps the best scorer in the league will be watching from her living room. All right. If we get to it, listen, we've been promising to bring y'all Ryan Howard's film, and I'm going to just be real with you. We're not going to bring it to you today either, just because our producer needs to be fired because our producer has not gotten the film ready. So anyway, speaking of ready, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
Yeah.
We're ready for tea time.
Oh.
We're ready for tea time. Is it that good? Hold on. Let me give you the screen by yourself because the tea time is that good. Take it away, Tay.
The tea time is not that good. This is all I have to say. I had a shirt that I was going to wear today. And it was gray. And then there was a image, and that image was a player by the name of DiJonai Carrington. I was going to wear that because I need everybody to know that I stand with DiJonai Carrington and the Chicago Sky. Listen, the WNBA has to figure out what the line is, right? What is the line between a flagrant 1, a flagrant 2, what consults a technical foul? So let's just talk, right? We all seen the clip. Sophie Cunningham going up for a layup, in which she traveled, by the way. DiJonai Carrington does what DiJonai Carrington does, and she tries to go for the block, ends up getting her in the face. Sophie pops up, and she's ready to fight. I would say rightfully so, but what our parents used to say, our grandparents, a hit dog gonna holler. I really believe that Sophie Cunningham knows that the things that she's been saying are controversial, so she's a little bit on edge, right? There's no way she didn't think that that was a basketball player. The WNBA, however, says that Sophie Cunningham's reaction to the hard hit was justified and reasonable, and that's why she didn't receive a technical foul when she stood up and hit Carrington in the neck area. So DiJonai Carrington has some comments on the interaction. I stand with her. I agree. I think that the WNBA has to figure out where the line is drawn, right? Why do certain players, certain teams get away with things that other players and other teams do not get away with, like being able to jump up and hit somebody, right? So just because I'm fouled hard, I have the right to get up and bop, bop, bop. Everybody doesn't have that privilege, right? We've seen players jump up, say just a couple of choice words, and they were assessed a technical foul. So anyway, that's the tea for the week. That happened a week ago, so it's still kind of fresh. It's actually hard to believe that was only a week ago. That was last Saturday when that took place, but I stand with DiJonai Carrington. I stand with her comments, and I think the WNBA has to figure out how they can make all players feel inclusive, right? There needs to be there needs to be a consistent line, right? Where's the consistency? And that's what the WNBA has struggled with thus far.
Yeah. So a statement from DiJonai Carrington says, I would say that I would just love consistency across the board when it comes to things like that, Carrington said when asked if Cunningham should have received a technical.
Exactly. And listen, I didn't even see that. Quote. I didn't even see that quote. So we're on the same page. I just think that, I don't know. I think there needs to be, and I know that it's basketball, right? It's sports. So there's not always going to be black and white. There are situations and scenarios that take place that sometimes you're not prepared for. You don't know how to respond to because they've never happened. But this is not one of those things. Yeah. And I want let me read the rest of this quote from her. She says, whether it's the foul that I committed, whether it's the reaction, the retaliation, I would just love it to be consistent. That's it. Across the board, regardless of the name on your jersey or your skin color or the score of the game, the stakes, whatever, I would love there to just be consistency when it comes to all of that. And then she says, I don't think we're there yet. That's something that I've talked to the league about as well. I think that will eliminate a lot of frustrations that we all have. And what she means by we all is she's talking about players, because the criticism of the officiating in the WNBA has been present for years. Now, let me add this as well. So Stephanie White, who coached Carrington in Connecticut, she believed that the call was correct, but she also said she doesn't believe that DiJonai Carrington intentionally went after Cunningham, right? Right, and so, I think that we all agree. I think even Carrington agrees. Yeah. Right. So for those of you that'll see this clip on TikTok, just know we agree, right? We think, in terms of the rules and what constitutes a flagrant 2, I wasn't surprised when I was called a flagrant 2. However, however, I just, we need it to be consistent. We need consistency because we have to really give credit and respect to Carrington for her response, right? Her response after Cunningham jumps up and charges at her, it was pretty level-headed. Because if you remember, and you can roll the clip, when Sophie Cunningham committed a really hard foul on JC Sheldon last season, and JC Sheldon jumped up, Cunningham did not have that same patient response. They immediately started tussling. So I think that Carrington was very patient and professional in her response to how she was coming at her, and she did get hit. And I think that I think a technical foul at minimum should have been assessed to her if we're talking about consistency. So the tea time word of the day is consistency. Consistency. Yeah. So that, that's what we want. So here's some more things. Not necessarily tea time, but some things that we want you guys to make sure that it's on your radar. Okay. So the W is going to go on pause when we get to the FIBA World Cup. Yeah. Okay. So like August. Yeah. So for about 2 weeks. So August
what are the dates? I got them over here somewhere.
31st,
August
right?
31st.
Yeah.
Yeah. So August 31st
To
to
the 12th?
September 16th. Okay. So
what are we gonna do?
yeah. So I guess we'll watch some World Cup, but we'll come back to that in a second. All right, let's get to Washington Watch. Man, listen, the babies are balling.
Yeah.
The babies are balling. Now, rough week, right? Rough week for them. One of the things we talked about last episode was, hey, listen, everybody's going to play everybody. So we're probably going to have the opportunity to see some separation. And man, true to form, and we'll touch on this in the standings update. Everybody's been kind of hitting everybody. And we've seen some separation, right? So Washington is 8-2 in its last 10, and both of those losses came in the last week to Vegas, right? So they lost to Vegas in Vegas twice, once by 10, once by 7. First 20-win season since 2023. They got Toronto next, so they're back home to play against Toronto. Toronto has, I think, dropped 10 in a row. So let's see what we got going on in Washington Watch. Shakira Austin leads the entire WNBA in win shares at 2.6 per game. Now, some of y'all, I know there are people who watch the podcast who, you know, you're a fan of a team, but you don't really know nothing about basketball. So let me tell you what a win share is. A win share estimates the number of team wins a player contributes based on their statistical contribution. Okay? So defensive win shares measures an individual's defensive stopping power as it relates to their ability to gain wins. And Shakira Austin, with her individual defensive ability, contributes over 2.5 wins to her team. And that's very important for this young team. Now, let me say this as well. This is super important. First and second episode, when we talked about Washington, one of the things we talked about was Shakira Austin being healthy.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
And that's why I'm not going to issue an apology to Washington because I said if we can get, if they're healthy, Kiki Irief and Shakira Austin, but most importantly Shakira Austin, they can do damage. But it was really just based on that. And I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they've been able to, knock on wood, right? They've been able to maintain good health and perform and show who they really are. I'm a Shakira Austin fan. I think that they're a young group, but again, we talked about just them staying away from injury, and they've done a pretty good job. So, and as a result, they've been winning basketball games. So, you know, and they're in their 8th spot.
As a result, they have been winning basketball games. So here's the thing. Let's a little bit more thing. That Shakira Austin, first 4 seasons, she only played 105 games.
Yeah.
Right. She's only missed 1 game this year. So that is awesome. So there's a little article in SI Women's Fast Break where Shakira Austin talked about putting the seatbelt on one Angel Reese. held Angel Reese to 7 points on 1 of 12 shooting. Okay. So Austin's one-word game plan when asked about it was seatbelt.
Yeah. And let's not talk about, 15 points for Asia Wilson the other night. And 15 is somebody's best game. But for Asia Wilson, you know, that's
11 below her season average.
Her average, right? And I watched the game, and
yes.
You talk about the player that you want to have on your team, a dog. She's not running. She's not ducking smoke. Like, it's actually funny because Shakira Austin, she talks it and she walks it. And that's my favorite thing about her. That's my favorite thing. Yeah. She's going to talk. She's going to bark, but she's also going to show you, what she's talking about. And she meant that.
Listen, I love it. My nickname for her is Big Red.
Big Red. Big Red.
Listen, so we Area Finn 6'3", Shakira Austin 6'5", 6'7", Lauren Betts coming off the bench. Listen. The only team in the league that has beaten Minnesota,
everybody,
Vegas,
they've beaten everybody,
and Golden State.
Yeah, the only team in the league who's beaten every team.
Everybody. Youngest team in the league, number 2 scoring defense. We've been tough on them about their offense, but they do have 3 players in the league's top 28 in Sonia Citron, Shakira Austin, and Kiki Iriafin.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question to close the segment. Is Washington a real contender, or are they a team that would get swept in a best of 3 by a Minnesota, a Golden State, or a Vegas?
I think that they are, and maybe this is where my apology comes. I do think that they are real contenders. When I watch them, I think that they're like really patient. And with the new addition of Benaja Laney Hamilton, I think that she's really helped them. Yeah, you need the vet, right?
Yes.
And we've been talking about that. We've talked about how young they were. So they acquired their vet, their mother. And I think that that is a key point in what helps make them contenders. You can tell when she's on the floor, they'll get like really deep into the shot clock, and then she helps them to stay poised. They create some action and they get a bucket. So I think specifically with the addition of her, they've trickled up into being real contenders. Not to say they weren't before, but it really looks hopeful for Washington.
Right. And as soon as Benaja Laney Hamilton was put on waivers, not saying that I had anything to do with it, but I ran to my X account and I reposted it, and I was like, Washington Mystics, go get her.
Perfect. And they'll probably end up having to play Minnesota Lynx in the first round, and I think it's going to be really competitive, but I don't see Minnesota letting that happen. I think that with the way they've dropped the ball over the last couple of years, they've been so close. They're not going to let Washington beat them. I just think it's simply not going to happen.
Okay. Yeah. Good stuff. So they're actually sitting 7th in the league right now, which neither one of us had them on our boards.
Who's in 8th?
Well, let me pull it up so we can talk about it.
I thought they were 8th.
Let me put it up so we can talk about it. All right. So let's get us down here. The Dallas Wings.
That just happened.
Who I love to talk bad about Dallas. I do. So here we go, man. Minnesota, Golden State continuing to be the picture of consistency. Man, just so good, right?
Right.
Just so good. They have Minnesota 9-1 in the last 10, Golden State 8-2 in the last 10. Vegas has clinched of the 12 lost teams. Vegas has clinched a playoff spot. They're 6-4. Vegas had a really tough road trip, which even the best of the best tend to, kind of struggle a little bit when they hit the road, unless you're the Minnesota Lynx, who are 15-2 on the road.
Yeah, I think they've set a new season record for road wins this season, if I'm not mistaken, for their organization. Yeah,
and just so when you look at that, like even Vegas, tough road trip, but they're still 13-6. Then we got the Fever, who are 22-12, just not breaking away. Winning some, losing some. Atlanta still continues to confuse the hell out of me.
Me too. Oh.
But they are 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah, I'll have something to say today. The Indiana Fever and the Dream play today. I'll have a really good today. Yeah, I have a good analysis for Atlanta today, after today, because I need it. It's irking me I can't figure out what the problem is.
Right, and which is why we need to do the film breakdown. So I fired the producer.
Okay.
I got another producer coming in this afternoon to get the film breakdowns ready for us. All right. So the Aces, the Fever, the Dream, all sitting there with 12 losses, equal number in the loss column, but I don't think those teams are equal. I do think Vegas is better than those teams, and the Liberty continue. And let me not say continue to be disappointing. They're starting to ramp it up as well. 8-2 in the last 10. We just finished Washington Watch, and then sitting down there in the 8th spot are the Dallas Wings, who happen to be 3-7.
Yeah, they had a rough stretch.
In the last 10 games.
They had a rough stretch.
I mean, so come on, Dallas. What y'all gonna do?
They've had a rough stretch. AZ Fuzz missed some games, and she started to be, a really important piece to the team. I think Jessica Shepard's gotten hurt a couple games ago. But they're gonna be fine. I still see them. I see them holding on to that 8th spot. So they'll be okay. Paige Beckers also had quite a bit of a rough stretch, and I think that some people in the media were kind of thinking that maybe she's dealing with some things outside of basketball. So trying to be graceful to Paige Beckers and whatever it is that she may be dealing with, because she was having a pretty rough stretch, and she made some comments in her post-game presser a few games back that had her fans a little bit concerned. So we're hoping all things are well with Paige Beckers. But hey, I watched her play the FIBA the other day, and she's back. So, couldn't pull out the win, but she did give 29. I think she, yeah. So,
so what did she say? She said, life is lifing.
Yeah.
Life is lifing. And that, life's especially. So we have to keep in mind that, man, these are incredibly young kids.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Yes, they are professionals. Yes, they are paid very well. But I always want people to understand two things. Number one, these are people just like the rest of us. They just happen to be really good at putting the ball in the hoop, right? Mm-hmm. And they're young. They're young people who deal with everything we deal with, and they have to go to work, and everybody watches them go to work. Right.
And if they don't perform at work, if they don't have that over or under,
right,
then they have to hear about it.
They have to hear about it, which is incredibly unfair to them. I would really like to go to people's jobs as a former coach.
Yeah.
As a former coach,
mm-hmm.
The one thing I should have done when I was a head coach, when you have that parent meeting, is I should have asked every parent to list their place of employment and their work schedule. So I could show up.
Come watch you do your job.
Yeah. Let me
and
come.
If I don't like the way you're doing your job,
let me go to their boss. Let me go to your boss because I don't like the way you're doing your job, and be
send
like,
an email.
Hey, didn't you tell them that they were supposed to do such and such? She over there on her phone.
And asking for them to be removed immediately because that's what they jump to. So, and this is the same thing for these players. I mean, one bad night. And, I'm going to call out here, clip this. I'm going to call out the Las Vegas Aces fans, because as amazing as the Las Vegas team is, right, and they're so talented, everybody cannot perform up to their highest standard every night. And that's why they are the big three, and they have such good players around them, right? So Asia may give us 30 and 15 one night. The next night, Jackie Young may give 30 and 8. The next night it may be Chelsea Gray, and I think that that's okay. Right. But when one of these players has a bad game, why, Las Vegas Aces fans, do we immediately result in trade her, sit her? She needs to play over her. Tanaya Latson, amazing. Mm-hmm. Came in last weekend versus New York, had a great game. All of a sudden, she needs to be starting. She needs to play over Dana Evans. All these different things. So I just think we got to do a better job at just being patient, being loyal, and respecting that not everybody's going to have their best night every night.
That's right. And I'm going to go back to something I said last episode, and I'm going to say it again. Nicer. I'm going to say it nicer this time.
Okay.
Just because someone may be a basketball fan, doesn't necessarily mean they're knowledgeable when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
Right? So basketball fanatics don't necessarily have high basketball IQs, right? And then another thing that I mentioned in a previous episode is I think people are more so fans of entertainment than they are fans of basketball.
And that's why you continuously hear the comments, lower the rims, we don't, no. That's because that's what they want, the entertainment piece. Lower the rims, the rims. What would that do for real basketball fans besides ruin the game?
Now, we're on opposite sides of this, okay? And here's my reasoning. So in every sport, right, that men and women play, the dimensions tend to be a little different, right? So in softball, the bats are different, the ball is different, the fences are shorter. In volleyball, I don't know if men and women play with different size volleyballs, but I know the net is different, right? The one thing that I've always said, now this change is never going to happen because the game has always been played on a 10-foot rim. But women do play with a smaller basketball, right? Yeah, smaller hand size, smaller basketball. The only other thing that I have pointed to in this argument is for most women, a layup is not a layup. It's actually a shot because of the height of the rim. So men's players, like professional men, should never miss a layup. Absolutely never, ever, ever, ever miss a layup. But for women, right, especially when they're coming up, right, young ages, the layup is a completely, even on the high school level, a layup for guys and a layup for young women is a completely different type of shot. It's actually a shot in basketball for young women, whereas it's actually a layup for young men. So,
right, and I've heard you say this before, but when it comes to professional players, they're up there with the men. I mean, our average guards are 5'10", 6, 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot. You got, we have some 5'8", 5'9" in there, but no, same for them. We shouldn't be missing layups, ladies, not at this professional level. Not to say that, right, it's going to happen, but our professional women's players have lots of size on them. So no, we're not lowering the rims. We're going to play real basketball just because y'all want to watch us slam dunk on each other for your entertainment's sake. It's not happening.
Yeah. So we got a comment on Instagram. Atlanta's issue is consistency in guard play. Gray is nice, but the others don't impress me compared to other top guard play.
Ooh.
So we've actually inspired Houston BB. So we've actually talked about this a couple episodes back. We both said somebody needed to go, and my somebody was not Gray.
Yeah.
My somebody was not great. So, So listen, we're both 6 and 9. So we're both still at 67%. And that's because the Sparks continue to suck. Phoenix continues to suck.
And they do. And they do.
Like
Kelsey Plum got hurt.
So, Phoenix is 13 and 22. Chicago is 12 and 22. The Sparks are 12 and 22. So I'll say this: Chicago has an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Phoenix, what's your excuse? LA Sparks, what's your excuse? Toronto is 10 and 23. Brittany Sykes has been hurt for quite a while, right?
Yeah.
Connecticut and Seattle are both eliminated from playoff contention. We knew Connecticut and Seattle were going to be bad, but my goodness.
My God.
My goodness. Here's my issue with the WNBA.
I didn't know Seattle was going to be that bad.
Look, we knew they were going to be bad.
Not that bad.
We knew they were going to be bad. Listen, Seattle is 1 and 9. Seattle is like Juju.
Who did we pick? What place did we pick Seattle?
So we only picked our top 9.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Seattle would have been in my bottom 2. Actually, no, they would not have. I would have had Connecticut and then probably like Portland.
One of the expansion teams.
Seattle.
Yeah. Yes. They were not in. They probably were. I'm pretty sure they were 10 or 11 for me.
And then the WNBA, maybe number 10. One, the TV things. So WNBA, we've said this before. You need to get some flex scheduling with your TV games because these are your games that you have on TV today. Back to back on ESPN. Right after we're done with this episode today, you got Indiana and Atlanta right? A great game. And then after that, you got Portland and Phoenix.
And why is Portland always on TV? I just said this last night. Respectfully, expansion team, I hope the Houston Comets get as much TV time as Portland has gotten this year.
Listen. Anyway, so
we could be watching Seattle and Chicago, or we could be. I mean,
no, but who? No, we don't want to watch Seattle and Chicago either.
But listen, at the beginning of the season, right? Think about who was on those rosters. That's a game we would have been watching if these players were healthy. But why does Portland have so much TV time? No disrespect to Portland, but I have been asking that question. I literally just said last night, why do I always have to watch Portland basketball?
So I think Portland is a really strong sports town.
It is.
And what's really close to Portland?
What's really close to Portland?
What kind of shoes you wearing today? What you got on your feet?
I'm barefoot.
You're barefoot today. But if you leave the house today, what you putting on your feet?
I have on Nike pants, so I'll probably put on some Nike shoes and the Nike headquarters.
There it is. There it is. All right. So
controversial.
Yeah, we're 6-9. I'm sure we don't know this, but we can definitely speculate that Portland being so close to the Nike headquarters
had
something to do with that. We're both 6-9. We can't separate on teams, but we can definitely separate on players. So here's what we're gonna do, right? Tay and I had homework.
Yeah,
we're talking about All-WNBA. So we both built our All-WNBA depth charts. Okay.
I don't need to do this for homework. This is off the top of the dome.
She did it off the top of the dome. Okay. I went and did some digging because I know what I have in the top of my dome, right? But I was like, let me make sure my list is predictive of the All-WNBA first team and second team. Okay. So you want to go first and then I'll go after you. So we're going to go position by position.
Okay,
Let's start at point guard. Okay. Who is 1 and 2 on your point guard depth chart?
And let's be clear. We're talking about.
Here we go.
No. These are the best 2 players at this position.
Okay.
I'm asking.
In your opinion?
In my opinion, right now in the WNBA, the best 2 players at the point guard position are Chelsea Gray.
Hold on. Is Chelsea Gray going to be first team All-WNBA?
No.
But you think she's the best?
And my second was Olivia Miles. And I think Olivia Miles will be first team WNBA.
Okay. So here are my 2.
Okay.
Here are my 2.
Let me write this down for safekeeping.
Olivia Miles. Oh, they're in the notes that we're sharing. They're in the shared notes. So my first team All-WNBA point guard is Olivia Kyrie Miles.
Yeah, as she should be.
My number 2 is Caitlin Clark.
She's a number 3 for me. Yeah. And she arguably is number 1 over Chelsea Gray. She's definitely having a better season. But I'm thinking like in terms of as I'm making these picks, I'm thinking if I had to pick who I would want to play for me. That doesn't mean I wouldn't want Clark to play for me. I 100% would, especially considering Chelsea Gray is like kind of on the later end of her career. But she just what she did to them, what she did to Caitlin Clark in the Fever last week, had to pick her.
Bang, 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 bang. So listen, I was watching WNBA Classics yesterday on NBA TV. And it was the 2016 finals.
Okay, the Sparks
between the LA Sparks and the Minnesota Lynx.
That's good,
man. Looking at a young Chelsea Gray. So let me give a shout out to Chelsea Gray for the way she has taken care of her body professionally.
Yeah,
right. She looks better right now than she did when she was young.
Yeah, in the last couple of years as well.
Yeah. Shout out to Chelsea Gray. All right. Number 2, at the 2 guard spot. Who are your top 2 players at the 2 guard?
Jackie Young, Jacqueline Young. I mean, that's not even a question. Oh, wait. Oh, I missed a player. It's definitely Kelsey Mitchell.
Okay.
I had wrote Sonia Citron, and I think that she was just fresh on my brain, but not even without a doubt. It's those 2, Jackie Young and Kelsey Mitchell.
Okay. So Citron is an almost but not quite.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
She's a problem. You got to deal with her. But she's not quite there yet. So my 2 were the same 2 as yours, but flipped.
I didn't know there was an order.
Kelsey Mitchell.
Okay.
And then number 2 on my depth chart is Jackie Young.
Okay, there's an order. Okay. You should have said that.
My bad. So, but here's the crazy thing, man. Like, I really feel that's like they need to do rock, paper, scissors to see who's the first. Because of both of those players, man, Jackie Young. So listening to her, so she and Asia, let's go back to Washington Watch just for a second. She and Asia talking the respect that they gave to Washington after the second game the other night. You know, Asia talking about the length, right? And having to deal with that length. And then Jackie Mitchell talking about, hey, you know, we knew we had to be ready for the physicality, you know, but not only her just being ready for it, but Jackie Young embraces that physicality. Listen, man, she is so good.
Yeah.
I think, so man, we know Asia Wilson. We know what Asia Wilson is going to do, right? And she's like, I love when Asia Wilson is like, oh, it's going to go in.
Yeah.
It's going to go in. You know what I'm saying? But then you also have Jackie Young, who is like, okay,
she does everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So, we're going to switch. Let's talk about this just for a second. This is Jackie Young love right here.
Give it to me.
We can switch. If Jackie's like playing the 2 or if she's guarding a 1, we can switch a 1-4 pick and roll, right? Because our 4s can move a little bit. If you're trying to look for the mismatch that Jackie has switched on to, that's not a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
Jackie Young, pound for pound, might be the strongest player in the WNBA.
Listen, first of all, she's my body goals. So every time I be like, I'm not going to the gym today, I envision Jackie and then I go to the gym. So there's that.
Jackie Young, dog
for sure. Listen, and I realized this a couple years back. You know, obviously I grew up a Notre Dame Irish fan, so always giving respect to Jackie Young. But I think a couple of years ago, I don't know, the Aces have played in so many finals, semifinals. I don't remember exactly what series we're talking, but even like last year, the Seattle Storm had an opportunity to advance past the Aces. Then Jackie Young with the putback, and every year I always feel like the team's focus is, you know, your focus is to do what you can to slow down Asia Wilson. But as soon as you do slow her down, you speed up Jackie Young. Yep. So as long as those 2 are a duo in the league, the Aces are always going to be contenders.
Always going to be contenders. Okay. So let's move to the 3, the small forward. Now this one, you know, little flexibility here.
Yeah.
Because you know, who's your list?
Because I'm like, what really constitutes as a small forward? So I got Stewie.
Okay.
I got Stewie, and then I have a healthy Rakia Jackson.
Okay. So I have Stewie and Kayla McBride.
Okay. Is Kayla McBride? If Kayla McBride is I'm sorry, I don't know what that noise is.
Hey, it doesn't even matter, right? So that's the question, right? So because we could say, is Stewie a 3 or is she a 4? Right? And then with Kayla McBride, we can say, well, is she a 2 or is she a 3? But in that lineup, she's a 3 because you got Olivia Miles on the ball and you got Courtney Williams playing the 2.
Yeah. And I love Kayla McBride. And again, shout out to the Irish. Hello. My favorite players are usually Irish players. Kayla McBride is so freaking good. But again, we're talking about players I would pick to play for me. I'm picking Rakia. I love that smooth operator right there.
So I love Rakia. Y'all listen, you guys have heard me talk about Rakia Jackson. Hate that, she went down for the injury. She's just, in my opinion, she is not yet what she will be. And when she is, listen, she is a smooth operator. She is a smooth operator. She is so good. Somebody in there swatting flies. What's going on over there? Okay. So at the 4, I'll do my 4. Okay. I'm gonna hit my 4s. Okay. So controversial. Let's see what people think about this. My depth chart at the 4, Jessica Shepard.
Good.
I've been talking about her for a couple episodes.
Good.
Jessica Shepard. And then I have no idea what position this player plays. So I just stuck her in here at the 4, and that's Gabby Williams.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. So I went at the 4, Alyssa Thomas. Point forward, Alyssa Thomas and Angel Reese. I love Jessica Shepard. I'm really into, again, I'm into players who can do everything. Like, I love a well-rounded player. So and that's why I've been giving lots of props to Jessica Shepard on the year. And I don't know, I missed her for something that I need to put her down for.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Where did Jessica Shepard play in college?
You already know, baby. Irish, baby.
Shout out to Muffet McGraw and
Neil Ivy, baby.
Shout out to the Irish, man. Shout out to the
Irish. They do their thing.
Okay, at the 4, we both have Asia.
Yeah.
I mean, at the 5.
Yeah.
We both have Asia at the 5. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
Who's second on your depth chart at the 5?
Aaliyah Boston.
And I have Shakira Austin.
Aaliyah Boston.
Shakira.
Yeah, and I love Shakira Austin, clearly, but I'm absolutely picking Aaliyah Boston.
Okay.
And Aaliyah Boston has expanded her game to now be able to shoot the 3 at a consistent rate. Definitely going with AB.
Okay. I wonder. So if these were like 2 real teams and they played against each other, I wonder who would win.
Ooh, wait, who do we have?
So
team 1.
Team 1 is Chelsea Gray, Olivia Miles, Jackie Young, Sonia Citron, S2E8, Rakia Jackson, Alyssa Thomas, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, and Aaliyah Boston. Versus that's the 10.
Right.
Versus Olivia Miles and Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell and Jackie Young. Stewie and Kayla McBride. Jessica Shepard and Gabby Williams. And then Asia Wilson and Shakira Austin. I think my team would beat your team.
I think team 1's winning.
I think my team would beat your team.
Who's my team?
Chelsea, Jackie, Stewie, Alyssa, Asia.
The first team, the first names you named. We're winning. We're winning, sweetheart. We're winning.
I don't know.
I'm looking at it. I immediately was like, "Oh, that's a winner."
So Chelsea Gray is on Team USA. Olivia Miles didn't make it. Okay. Whoever defends Chelsea Gray, I wonder. Well, let's wait till we get to the World Cup roster to kind of talk about that. So Alyssa Thomas, you picked Alyssa Thomas. I picked Jessica Shepard. So AT leads the WNBA in total assists. She has a 43.5 assist rate from the 4, but her team sucks. Okay. So Jessica Shepard is at 14.2 a game, 11.4 rebounds a game, 5.5 win shares. She's fourth in the league in offensive win shares. She's got a league high 4 triple doubles, 20 double doubles.
Yeah.
But here's what's crazy. Check this out. Natasha Howard beats both of them in win shares.
I'm glad that you mentioned her name. I've been talking very highly of her for the last couple of years because last year after the Indiana Fever lost Nalissa Smith to Dallas, who ended up being in Vegas, they acquired Natasha Howard, and people had so much to say, and I was like, I truly believe this is exactly what they needed. They needed Natasha Howard. I was all respect to Nalissa Smith. I was happy that they acquired her and got a new floor position in Natasha Howard. And we talked about her at the beginning of this season as well, me and you, and I talked about her acquisition to Minnesota. And you were like, I'm calling y'all. You were like, I'm like, that is a great acquisition. Go pull the clips.
No, you did. I'm just saying you had to point it out. She's 8 episodes later.
Acquisition. She really does. I mean, she's like, Caleb McBride, Chelsea Gray, that vet status, and she brings it every night. So shout out Natasha Howard.
Shout out Natasha Howard. So I would tell you exactly what I said since you wanted to push me in front of the bus. I questioned how much tread she had left on the tires.
She's in great shape. We talk about players who have been in the league for a long time, who have taken care of their bodies. She should always be in that conversation. She's in awesome shape.
Yeah. So my apologies. Damn, this is like the apology tour.
It's not.
Apologizing.
I'm not giving them out. Yeah.
You right. I was about to say you.
I don't owe anybody. I don't owe anybody.
All right. Next segment. Because right now you're just being a bully. So let's talk about the mean girls.
Let's talk about the
bullies of the WNBA. Mean girls. You have Sophie Cunningham as a mean girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So give us your full list of mean girls / WNBA bullies. Who you got?
So let me see. All right. Starting off strong with Sophie Cunningham. I do think that Sophie Cunningham is a mean girl. And I'm not sure why. I know that like that title of enforcer was important to her. I think that she's gotten a lot of media attention and social, like just attention off social media and in, in the real world from her level of aggression on the court. But I think it's translated into her kind of being some sort of a mean girl. I really do. Now, I respect her ability to guard, to be physical, to shoot the ball. But I do think she's a mean girl. Starting off, coming in even stronger. Number 2, Alyssa Thomas is a mean girl. She's a mean girl. I watched Life in the W on ESPN where they highlight Asia Wilson, Nafisa Collier, and DeWanna Bonner. And DeWanna Bonner said, sometimes AT is her wife, if you didn't know, / teammate. Sometimes she I probably didn't have to say that. Sometimes she's like, she's fussing at everybody, and it's just because she's passionate. And I noticed a while ago that we talk about body language from players. Caitlin Clark is a player who receives lots of really bad criticism for her body language towards her teammates. But Alyssa Thomas has the worst body language. And I know it's just because she wants to win, but I do think there's a way, especially as a veteran player, to address your teammates, especially your young teammates. And I know she does it out of love and respect, but, she definitely could grow in that area. And then on the other side, we see her knocking people around. We've seen some chokeholds. We saw her get suspended for a fist to the throat, which controversial, but, she's definitely a bully on the court. And then we see Alyssa Thomas Jr. Who's Alyssa Thomas Jr.? Alyssa Thomas Jr.?
I don't know. Who is it?
Her name is Cody McMahon. She's trying. Somebody said she's training to take over when AT retires.
Listen. Hey,
somebody said she's playing rugby. Somebody said she's playing rugby.
Listen. The So first of all, our following on our Facebook page. Listen, anybody who watches this and you're a true fan of the game, like you just enjoy basketball, y'all please go to the Facebook page. Please balance. I need y'all to balance these comments out.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're
yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be bad.
You know, somebody called it WWE. They were like, what, they're turning the game into the effing WWE/NFL.
They say she's playing F around and find out.
Listen. So Sophie Cunningham, Alyssa Thomas, Cody McMahon.
Yeah, those are the mean girls. I think that the league is so kind. The league is so kind. They're so sweet to each other. They have great relationships. I really can't think of any other players. When I think of a mean player, a bully, a mean girl, or a bully, I wouldn't call Alyssa Thomas a mean. I think she's a very kind person. I don't know her personally, but I think that from the interactions I do see, people describe her as being such a sweet, individual, a sweet woman, right? But when we talk about on the court, Alyssa Thomas is a bully. She's a bully.
Okay. So here are some other names.
Okay,
that I want to give you. So let's start with one from the comments. Maisha Hines Allen. You think she's a mean girl?
She's a bully. She's definitely a bully. She's definitely in the same conversation with AT for sure.
Okay. Wow.
For sure.
So Indiana. Indiana's got 2 on the list.
2.
Okay. So Natasha Howard has the most personal fouls in the NBA. Interesting.
She's not a mean girl.
Not a mean girl. Just experienced, knows how to foul.
Yeah.
Okay. I asked you about this a couple of episodes ago. Angel Reese. She's second in the league in fouls.
I wouldn't call Angel Reese a mean girl or a bully.
What about her body language at times?
Do we think her body language is bad?
There are times when sometimes.
I think she's one of those. Yeah, she's one of those that gets really competitive. But I always put her and Clark in the same category because I think that those 2 players specifically have so much pressure. They have so much pressure on them. So they're both under, and it's kind of, decreased over time, but especially their first couple years in the league, they had the most pressure on them to perform, especially when they're playing against each other. So I think that it really is just that pressure starting to spill over and show. That's all.
Okay. 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 Not bad. So those are this is crazy that Indiana has 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Some would even call Aaliyah Boston a bully. Some would call Aaliyah Boston a bully.
Listen, Aaliyah Boston is a bully.
Satu Sabali is a bully.
Yeah.
Marina Mabry is a mean girl.
So I was getting ready to bring up Marina Mabry because she was on our list last year. Mm-hmm. Okay. She was on our Wants All the Smoke list last year. I don't remember what we called it, but I want to say Sophia Cunningham was on our list last year as well, and Marina Mabry. Yeah. So here's the thing: Marina Mabry is, will be all up in your face. She doesn't back down, and she averages over 20 a game.
Exactly.
And's got a 50-piece. Man, could you imagine playing against her? It's like, wait a minute. I gotta guard her, and I might have to fight her today.
And I might have to fight her.
And I might have to. Oh my goodness!
And if I accidentally bump one of her teammates, I'm really gonna have to fight her because she goes harder for her teammates than she does for herself.
That's gonna be one of our awards for the year. Guard her and fight her award.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now let's flip it. So these are the players that nobody really wants to mess with. So now let's talk about players that maybe we're not giving enough credit. So these are our most improved candidates. Okay. So who's on your list for most improved, which I think this is a really good list that you got here. Who you got for us?
And I don't know if I left anybody out. I think I might have left off.
It's okay. We can always add them later.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure she's going to be on your list. But for most improved, I do have Shakira Austin at my number 1. And there's I use the word controversial a lot, but people are arguing that players who are drafted right, higher up shouldn't be able to win that award. But I think that Shakira,
Stupid.
right, very stupid. Shakira Austin was the third pick, and she's right now she's averaging career high in points, minutes, assists, blocks per game, and her free throw percentage has improved. So she's my number one pick. Then I'm going with Nalissa Smith.
No. Come back, Tay. All right. So recap while Tay is frozen, and she's coming back in just a second. So her number one candidate for most improved is Shakira Austin, right? 16.7 points a game this year, 9.5 boards, averaging almost a block and a half per game. Leads the W in defensive win shares. She's second in defensive rating. So we're talking about perhaps the best defensive player on one of the best defensive teams in the league. She's at career highs in scoring and rebounds. Again, health for her is the story. Her first 4 years in the league, she only played 105 games. She's only missed one game this year, and we see the difference. She's the anchor of the league's number 2 defense as WNBA Tay is coming back in here, right? Again, assists, career highs in free throw percentage, points, minutes, and blocks are all career bests for Shakira Austin, okay? Number 2 on Taylor's list is Nalissa Smith. So as we're waiting on Tay to come back in here, okay? Number 2 on her list is Nalissa Smith, okay? So she's had better seasons in Indiana, like as far as raw numbers go, but here's the efficiency story that I really want to point out with Nalissa Smith. She's back. So number 2 on Tay's list is Nalissa Smith. So here's what she's leading the W in, okay? And Tay, she came back and froze up just that quick. This is crazy. 63% from the field, leads the W. 63.8 effective field goal percentage, leads the W. She's 65 on twos. That's second in the W behind her teammate, Asia Wilson. 64% true shooting percentage. That's 7th. Her win shares are at 4. And she's got a 126.3 offensive rating. So if people don't vote for her as far as most improved goes, maybe she is the most efficient player in the WNBA. Maybe she's the best role player in the WNBA. Not sure there, but she is definitely starring in her role. So went from being perhaps a centerpiece on a championship contender in Indiana to being more of a role player, and has really blossomed in that role in LA. Needs 9 more points to get to 2,000 career, and that would make her the 29th player in WNBA history.
Am I back?
You are back. That would make her, you froze again. Like you come back and freeze immediately. Oh, you're unfrozen. Let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. You were frozen just for a second. So I hit Shakira and Nalissa Smith for you while you were gone. So who's the third person on your list?
Well, Camila Cardoso, but let me go back to Smith really quick. So I'm just going to say that her first 2 seasons, she had really good seasons. You know, she, coming in, she was the second pick. She was arguably supposed to be the first pick over Ryan Howard, but we see how that went. She had a really good start to her career with the Fever. I think her third year might have been like her lowest year. Then she went to Dallas/Vegas, and she had a very similar year, you know, to what she's having right now. I just think that she's been like consistently effective, but this is what she came into the league doing. So I just think that people might have forgotten for a little bit, and now they've been reminded. And I don't necessarily think that should give her that leverage to win that award when you have players like Shakira Austin who are averaging career highs. And then players like Camila Cardoso playing alongside Angel Reese for a couple years. Now she's not. And she's really been like a go-to for her team with all the injuries they've had. Skylar Diggins, SRE Stevens, Rakia Jackson, DiJonai Carrington missed like almost 20 plus games for sure. So she's really been a go-to player for her team. She's averaging a career high in points. steals, blocks, and her shooting percentage and free throw percentage has increased. So definitely looking at Shakira Austin, Camila Cardoso, Jessica Shepard as well should probably be on my list, and Alyssa Smith.
Okay. Couple of other names I want to give to you. So you mentioned Jessica Shepard. Dominique Malonga has gone from 7.7 points a game to over 17. But again, her team sucks.
Yeah, losing Nika McKay. Yeah,
everybody. Another name from the comments, we got Bridget Carlton has doubled her points per game.
Yeah. But now she's a go-to player, right? And these are all things to consider. Bridget Carlton went from role player to go-to player on an expansion team.
Right.
Yeah.
And so just to argue against Carlton, so when you go from role player to go-to player, your numbers are going to increase.
Absolutely.
Right? Your numbers are definitely going to increase. And then here's another name for you. Carla Leite from Portland. Portland sitting in that 9 spot better than we expected them to be. But again, going from a role player to a major player, she's doubled her outputs this year. Okay. So let's keep an eye on our MIP candidates. All right. Here are our almost, but not quites. You ready? So here's my first candidate for almost, but not quite. Kayla McBride. We've been talking about win shares because we really want to talk about what you see on the court and what it's equating to. So Kayla McBride is actually second in win shares behind only Asia Wilson. Okay. She set a record the other night, and I had her on my list, right? But I think she is probably one of the most underrated players.
Yeah, and she's done it for so long.
She said, listen, I'm old enough to be some of y'all's mama.
She is.
Right? Here's somebody who's a league leader, but may not get any votes in anything. That's Ryan Howard. Now, we got to do our film breakdown, but Ryan Howard is on the USA roster.
Yeah.
Right? She's on that Team USA roster. We've been a little critical of her. That's why we have to do the film breakdown, because we can't just be critical of people without giving you a little more information. She leads the league in steals. She's fourth in win shares. She leads the league in 3-pointers made. And she may not get any votes for anything this year. Yeah. Here's another name. Jonquel Jones. Jonquel Jones got 9.5 rebounds a game, 4.8 win shares, 63% total shooting percentage, which is good. But she actually did win something this year. She won the All-Star Game MVP. But
she did.
Jonquel
Jones is a former league MVP as well.
She's a former league MVP as well. And let's talk about your girl Sophie. So while she is on our hit list, meaning you are most likely to get hit by her.
Yeah.
She does lead the league in offensive rating. And she is second in true shooting percentage and tied for the league's best 3-point percentage. So
how many points per game does she average?
Now her points per game aren't very high.
Okay.
Let's pull up her PPG real quick.
Yeah.
Because she could be maybe a 6th person of the year. Maybe. Because she is really a really, really good role player.
Yeah, she is a very good role player. That's her identity, and that's what it's been. Even when she was back with Phoenix, when Skylar Diggins, Brittany Griner were there, that was a fun team to watch, and she was a really important role player for that Phoenix team.
Yeah, so she's 8 points a game.
Okay.
Listen, yeah. I forgot she was in Phoenix. I really didn't forget. I did kind of forget, but hell, she learned from the best in AT when she was down there in Phoenix.
They weren't there together, were they? I don't know if they were there together. I think AT might have still been in Connecticut.
Let's see.
I think she might have still been in Connecticut.
Well, how long has Cunningham been in Indiana?
I think this is her second year. So I don't think they were there together. But hey, still learn from the best.
She was there from 2019 to 2024. So they played together.
Well, Alyssa Thomas's first year in Phoenix was last year, right?
I don't know.
I believe it was. That's neither here nor there.
So maybe no overlap.
Nah.
Maybe no overlap. All right. Kelsey Mitchell again may not win anything.
Yeah, which is sad.
Yeah, AT's first year was last year, so I thought she was there 2024. Caitlin Clark may not win anything this year.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of had to get on some people in the comments because, you know, they're like, she's the best in everything. And I was like, well, she's also the best in turnovers. I need y'all to understand that as well. And she is not. Here's the thing. So because like those stats. So we talked about this off camera the other day, and we're getting ready to talk about the FIBA roster. My preliminary comparison for Caitlin Clark, there's much more to be seen, was James Harden.
Okay.
You're filling it up, but what does it mean?
Yeah, and I think that we have to also consider the nature of the turnovers, right? They're not just like, because when I watch a team like Chicago right now, who's playing right now, they turn it over senselessly sometimes. And I think that a lot of her turnovers are like, you know, trying to thread the needle, not being afraid to make the pass, you know, or not being afraid to make the extra passes. We hardly see like legit senseless turnovers. They're more so of like, I'm going to attempt to make this dime. My teammate may or may not catch it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? It's kind of like Chelsea Gray, not to compare the two, but kind of like Chelsea Gray. She's not afraid. Mm-hmm. She's not afraid to throw it, you know, wherever it needs to be thrown. And sometimes her teammates get to it, sometimes they don't. So I think we have to consider that as well when talking about her turnovers. But yes, does lead the league in turnovers, has been for a couple of years now.
So I guess my question, more so rhetorical than anything, because I don't want to talk about Caitlin Clark a whole lot, is right. Are those, at what point do you stop turning the ball over?
Yeah.
Because when you turn it over, that's a possession your team doesn't get, and that's another possession that the other team gets. And you've heard me talk about Indiana's defensive issues, right? So the other thing I pointed out in talking with somebody in my comments is that she's not in the top 10 in win shares.
Yeah.
Total win shares or offensive win shares.
Yeah.
Right? So when we talk about what do these numbers mean, right? So that's my thing. Like this, we're filling it up, but the turnovers are high, and then the numbers aren't in the top tier of the league in win shares. So we really got to keep, let's keep an eye on that. All right. She is on the FIBA World Cup roster. Aaliyah Boston, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collier, Kalia Copper, Chelsea Gray, Ryan Howard, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Brianna Stewart, Asia Wilson, Jackie Young. Here's my personal opinion. I know why she's there. I know why Kalia Copper and Ryan Howard are there. And that's going to be that's your defensive wings, right? Because you're not going to get a lot of defense out of Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Chelsea Gray, Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
At all.
You're gonna get some out of Gray for sure, but those other three,
I mean, so
spot on.
Yeah. So, but because the argument could be like Kelsey Mitchell could be there in place of Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
She could be there in place of
I don't
know. Copper.
Yeah.
So if Kelsey Plum is injured, then they got to have somebody in that spot anyway. So no Kelsey Mitchell, career best 24.3, second in the league. She's over 50 from the field, 43.6 from 3 points. So I don't know. So what do you think? Is this the right roster for?
I think that what you said definitely makes sense because I hadn't thought of it that way. They are there for probably that purpose, just to be those two-way players. I definitely think Kelsey Mitchell deserves a place on that roster. We talk about being overlooked. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is that they're looking for when they're picking these rosters, but I definitely think there's a spot for Kelsey Mitchell. And I don't know if I don't know if it's like a, you were here before, so we got to keep you here type of thing. Because we talk about players like Kelsey Plum, but I think Kelsey Mitchell she's definitely the one that's been left off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
understand. I really can't. Really, I don't understand.
I want to say this. I just want to say this. Kelsey Plum is an absolute bucket, but I do not like her game.
Yeah.
I don't like her game. I think her game is so one-dimensional. Yeah. It's like get a defensive liability. Yeah. And I can't see a place where Team USA gets into a spot where she's got to be on the floor because they need a bucket.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what does she do besides get buckets?
Yeah, man, I don't know, but I definitely think there's a place on that roster for Kelsey Mitchell.
Yeah, so it was really close in the last international competition. France came in a close second. Listen, France got players in the league. They got Gabby Williams, Marine Johannes, Carla Leite, Dominique Malonga, Layla Lacan. I'm not sure if our fam is going to play for France or if she's coming from Spain. I don't really know. Yeah. So is the gap closing? Do you think the gap is closing between the U.S. and the rest of the world?
Absolutely. And I always like to point out, sadly, we have to remember, I'm never going to let anybody forget this. Gabby Williams had a buzzer-beating shot at the end of the gold medal game a couple years back. The ball went in, and if her toe had just been a little bit, but if her toe had just been behind the 3-point line, an inch, we lose the gold medal to France.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this roster, and this roster is damn good, right? Yeah, this roster is so good. Stewie, a little long in the tooth. We don't have it's not a lot of size here.
Yeah.
Right? It's not a lot of size here. I mean, Aaliyah Boston 6'5", right?
For sure.
So we got 6'5" Aaliyah Boston. We got 6'5" Stewie, who can play in and out. She's a mismatch nightmare, so I love her there. But outside of her, Asia Wilson, I'm interested to see how Angel Reese's game, because she's an undersized inside player. And when we talk about playing against a team like France is huge.
Yeah.
France is huge. So we'll see what the Team USA does. The gap is closed, but Team USA still by far has the most depth. All right, Tay, we don't have any parlays today, so we're going to wrap it up on yay or nay.
There's nothing anyways.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up on yay or nay so we can go watch it. All right, yay or nay? Yay or nay? Kelsey Mitchell, not Asia Wilson, has been the most valuable offensive player in the W this year. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay. Yay or nay? Shakira Austin is the actual defensive player of the year, even though people are defaulting to Asia Wilson. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay. Washington, not Indiana, not Atlanta, is the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. Yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay. Ryan Howard leads the league at 34 minutes per night. And we're talking about in a 40-minute game, y'all. So she's playing a league high 34 minutes a night, and then she's going to go play in the World Cup. That's coaching malpractice when you could be coming into a best of 3, a best of 5 game. I think the first round is best of 5 now. So Ryan Howard, 34 minutes and going to play in the World Cup is coaching malpractice. Yay or nay?
Yay.
Okay. Marina Mabrys, 20.8 a game. That's points per game. On a 10-3 on a 10-3 Toronto team with empty calories and should not be treated as a breakout season. Yay or nay?
Nay. Those are not empty calories. Those are buckets.
All right. And then to close it off right here, we just talked about the World Cup. So the gap between the USA and the world is not closing as much as we think it is. But the world is getting closer to each other when it comes to basketball. Yay or nay?
Yay, for sure.
Okay. All right. Listen, that's it. Season 2, episode 8, Coaches Co-op and WNBA Tay. Man, we hit a lot of things before we got out of here, man.
Yeah.
So Tay, as we do with every episode, any last words before we run up out of here?
No.
No words. Hey, WNBA Tay celebrated a birthday this past week. So y'all make sure y'all get in the comments and wish WNBA Tay a happy birthday. My name is Coach P. Listen, subscribe, like, leave us a rating if you're listening on Apple and all of that stuff. And y'all go follow us on IG. Go follow us on IG. Let's see if I actually put it over here this time in the banners, because I never do.
He didn't.
Boom. Yes, I did. Boom. No, I didn't. We out of here.